This is MrsAgroSquerril standing in for Agro while he recovers from some vocal strain. His recovery is coming along, but it could still be a little while. Hope you enjoy. The Waiting Room by Thelonious Howe. I am scared. The small furry child whimpers over the sound of air raid sirens. I know, buddy. I am too, the human medic responds, wrapping the child in a bear-like hug as flaming streaks of incoming munitions fill the skies around them. The child squeezes his eyes closed. I don't want to be by myself, he cries. I swear, I will kick down the gate of hell if I have to. I won't let you face it alone. The medic stares up to the heavens, watching the burning trail of a missile get closer and closer. He takes a deep breath and closes his eyes. And then something happens, or perhaps nothing happens. An eerie peace washes over the medic. He doesn't know what to make of it, so he opens his eyes. Death doesn't look as one expects. Battleship grey cinder block walls meet a faded mint green carpet. Steel frame, fabric chairs arrange themselves in untidy little rows. A bored-looking woman with slightly too long nails clacking noisily on an antiquated typewriter. It feels more akin to an outdated Iowa DMV than any semblance of the afterlife. There are no bright lights, no fluffy clouds. It's also very boring. A voice pulls the medic from his internal observations. Sir, your 315 is here. It emanates from the woman, inflectionless, with notes of a faint Brooklyn accent present. He is unsure if she is speaking to him or about him to someone else entirely. Should I take a seat? The medic asks. Oh, that won't be necessary. A new voice cuts through the drab little room, and the medic turns to face the source of the interruption, only to find a man approaching with his arm outstretched. The Grim Reaper, much like the afterlife itself, defies all expectations. He is not a tall looming figure in a black cloak with a harvester's scythe, nor is he a movie star dashing in a formal black suit. He is a diminutive, balding, bespectacled man whose outfit could best be described as business casual, completed with a tweed jacket. Mr. Ambrose, he says with a smile as the medic hesitantly takes the offered hand. I must say, it is a pleasure to meet you. You've been an absolute hassle to my department, and it's all been very humorous. The medic remains silent as the small man vigorously shakes his hand. He never intentionally tried to be an inconvenience to anyone, let alone the arbiter of the afterlife. But that's the nature of it, the small man continues. We're accountants, you're a medic, two sides of the same coin. The paperwork has been egregious though, but I wish to assure you there are no hard feelings here. It is all very strange, not the kind of reception anyone expects to have when they are shuffled off their mortal coil. It is also now that the medic realizes that he is alone, save for the enthusiastic accountant and the indifferent secretary. A flash of hope dashes across the medic's mind. The kid, he can't quite find the words to finish his question. Ah, yes, your latest charge. His own room, his own accountant. Every species has to be tallied separately. It's to keep the numbers accurate, you see. Precision is the crux of our industry. The medic's face drops, so the revelation catches in his throat. Yes, I'm afraid so. Such is the fate for the living. The accountant offers a sad smile. Can't save them all? No, that was true. He couldn't save them all. It was just another name, another number added to the list of failures the medic had. Tell me about him, the accountant asks earnestly. I didn't know him all that long. The medic tries to swallow his emotions. Not a good look to break down in front of death himself. He was afraid of the dark. Had a sister, I think. He really loved the ham sandwich rations. He was a good kid. The medic can feel a tear trying to make a brazen escape, but it is quickly wiped away. Can you contact other departments? Can you let them know about that stuff? It might make his transition easier. See, Janet, this is why I was so excited to meet him, the accountant enthusiastically says to the still typing woman, who makes no acknowledgement of the statement. He turns back to the medic with a beaming smile. Even now, Mr. Ambrose, you're still concerned with the well-being of those you feel responsible for. Great stuff to see, truly a cut above. The accountant waves a hand as if to preemptively dismiss any interjection from the medic. Don't worry, Annie, you'll be able to see to that yourself. It's only intake that's segregated, for the numbers, of course. The medic breathes a sigh of relief. At least that is one promise he'll be able to keep. He shifts nervously on his feet. His concern for others can't be all that special across the galaxy at large. Certainly not enough to warrant such fanfare from the Keeper of the Dead. I don't think I'm all that, the medic says flatly. The accountant's face sours. I think, Mr. Ambrose, that you are far too hard on yourself. The accountant pulls a small remote out of his pocket and points toward an old CRT television set that is sat against one of the unadorned walls. With the press of a button, the television hummed to life, revealing an elderly alien avian sitting around a family at a large table. Oh, this is one of my favorites, the accountant squeals. You probably don't even remember it. The medic's brow furrows. There is something vaguely familiar about the bird, but he cannot place just quite what it is. The accountant's smile returns. You were fresh out of boot. First combat experience. Tore off out of your own trench line when you saw him stumble. Memory floods back to the medic. The crater. Yeah, I remember. He was in bad shape. Wondered what happened to him. Well, as you can see, he pulled through. The accountant's enthusiasm grows with the medic's recollection. You even became a favorite bedtime story for his hatchlings. The mad medic that dashed out of hell to save dear old dad. Your story inspired them so much that one is currently serving with Terra's finest, and another is about to finish up his medical schooling. The medic shifts again. So there is one case. That's hardly something to throw a parade over. The accountant presses a button and the channel changes. This time it is a young lizard shuffling through rubble as part of an aid relief team. This one I know you'll remember. The orphanage. The medic swallows hard. Yeah, the one where Watkins... There will be none of that, the accountant cut him off. This is what I mean. You focus on the one you couldn't, save. Not the 24 you did. Each one now living vibrant lives, making the universe a better place because of what you did. By the by, Mr. Watkins is here, and you still owe him a beer, apparently. The medic lets out a short chuckle. Yeah, that sounds like Watkins. Look, says the accountant, as he flitters through channels. Each channel is a soul saved, a death interrupted. He hands the remote to the medic. You can flip through them if you want, but there are a lot, and that would take a while. The medic flicks through a few. He never thought of his successes. You stabilize them, you move on, and the memory quickly becomes background noise drowned out by the larger event. The failures, however, hung with you. Each one stole a little of your soul. Each is like a tiny needle in your psyche that you would replay 100 or 1,000 times, trying to determine if there was anything you could have done differently to change the outcome of the situation. I guess I never thought about it. I just focused on those I let down, those I couldn't save, the medic says sadly. It's not a tally, Mr. Ambrose. The accountant gently lays a hand on the medic's shoulder. Even if you never saved anyone, you tried, and that's more than most can claim. Whether or not you believe it yourself, you were a net positive in the universe. He holds out his hand expectantly, and the medic deposits the remote into it. So what happens now? The medic asks. Now? The accountant breaks out into another large smile. We should really get moving on processing. We're burning time standing around here, and I know someone that could use a ham sandwich. End of story.
I'd greatly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Caspar Arnholtz, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.